Alright, video number 2. Are we recording? We are. Alright, so now I just showed you how I clean the cymbals. Now I'll show you how I take material off them if I don't particularly like the sound. This is a Stag 22-inch China that I got inexpensively online. It was new actually, but the price was really great. Sound is good too. I'll show you that in a second. I want to show you though. Okay, new cymbal. I've used it for months now. Never really did take any stick marks. But what I want you to notice is that the hole is not centered. I can see it on my screen, so I know you can see it. Alright, the hole is not centered. So that's the way it came. I could have sent it back, but the fact is, I know that when I put this cymbal on, the heavy side's going to always hang down. It's always going to be at the same spot. It's not going to rotate around. It'll just be right there. That's fine. I don't mind that. What I did, though, I enlarged the hole to try and bring it a little bit more towards the center. But I'm just showing you that at the outset. Here's how it sounds. It has kind of a hard sound. It doesn't have enough of a swish kind of sound to it. And on the other side, you can see it's hanging because of that hole. It's not bad, it's just kind of hard for me. So again, 1/2-inch drill mounted into a vise to keep it nice and sturdy, and 1/2-inch threaded rod, a couple of nuts, 2 nuts to lock them both together so they don't move later on with the spinning, the centrifugal force. I'm going to take it off the, I didn't try this, maybe I'll try this side. I'll lay it this way, give it a little bit more stability. Alright, so I lay that on my washer. I don't always use another washer to clean cymbals. I just use a couple of nuts, tighten those down. In this case, because this thing is a beast, I'm going to use another washer. Try to center that. Nut number 1. Nut number 2. Now I'm wearing this apron because in the last video I showed you how to clean, and stuff can splatter all over the place cleaning cymbals. Most of the time I'm wearing long sleeves for this because some of this stuff coming off is kind of hot. It gets on your arm. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to take too much off. It's warm in here. I've got the windows closed, like I said, because there's construction on the road out there and the trucks are going by. I didn't want them interfering. And I have a fan on, though, to try to keep me semi-cool anyway, because it's starting to get hotter and hotter in here as the day wears on. Good old Texas. There is no... Autumn is like gone in Texas. And you don't even get there until November. So... While everybody else is enjoying nice color changes at the end of September, beginning of October, we're still 92 degrees. Alright, so the cymbal is mounted on, and when you're doing this, I'm going to show you the bits in a second that I use. I don't have the big setup where the cymbal goes on vertically. I've got horizontal setup here. The cymbal goes on vertically, and they've got a bar, and they've got their tools, and yeah, I don't do that. That would be nice, but that would be a lot more money to have that set up. I don't. So I started using this, I don't know, 20 years ago, messing around with cymbals, and it works. So anyway, let me show you my bits, all right? I don't have the big, here's the bits. I just get them off eBay, right? Here's how one package comes. They have, real small bits, and they go all the way up to much larger ones, like these. Okay, these are the bits I use. I just hold them by hand. Now, you can see how that is rounded off, right? Well, that started out a point like that. And I put this on my grinding stone, and I just take it down till I get a round out of it. This one, you can see how much I took off that one. I use that. I use different shapes, and you get different lathe patterns and stuff like that. But that's all I use. and I'll show you how it works. I do not know what the mic is going to do, but it's going to get loud. I got earplugs in. Here we go. Now you want this to go as slow as possible. If you've got some kind of regulator, turn your drill on and, hit the sustain button and, keep that speed. That's great. If you have some kind of floor control, I don't have that. So what I do is, and here's why you can see I wear long sleeves, because this metal is going to come flying off. So I just push the button. It's a variable speed, and you want it going slow. You don't want it going fast. So you can see how that cymbal, just because of that hole being off center, and China cymbals tend to get kind of wonky anyway. So I'm not going to take too much off here. I want to concentrate to the outside four edges, but I'll show you how I just go right down. But what I'm trying to get is a nice long, can you see that? That's stuff that I've taken off. And see, sometimes it comes off as just little pieces that you can see raining down, and sometimes it comes off as real long threads, which is nice. All right, here we go. Slow. And that's another reason I wear an apron, so I can just stop it. All right, this goes to cleaning cymbals too. I can take a sanding block and just come straight down a dirty cymbal. You don't really take any, it doesn't change the sound, doesn't do anything to it, but it will take the grunge off if it's really bad. I may start out with that. But anyway, that's all there is to this process, and I can use the different bits. Let me get my little rounded bit here. Where's that one? I use the smaller one, gives you a smaller groove. Because you got, look, the traditional cymbals have the wider grooves, and then you've got the A Customs and the the AX whatever Sabian, the companies that use a very pointed lathe. They get a very thin lathe line. Other companies do different tools on the cymbal, and you've all seen that stuff. So you get a slightly different. I should say as well, if you're gonna try this. I don't really find anything dangerous with this. But I mean, you have to hold this firmly. Obviously, you hold your bit firmly. And it can build up enough heat, so you've got to put it down. Or drop it in some water, cool it off or something. But I don't really see anything dangerous with this. I'm wearing glasses. I don't wear glasses. I wear readers, but I'm wearing these because I don't want anything to come back on my eyes, obviously. So, be sensible, common sense, take precautions. You're not dealing with toys here, right? So you know that. Hopefully you know that. If you don't know that, learn that. Because if you let go of that bit, it's gonna sail off. And if somebody's standing near, bang. All right, so you got to hold your bit firmly. And you have to control with pressure how the cymbal's going to wobble or whatever. You get used to it after a while. And that's how it's done. And I can take off, I had this 22-inch Chester Thompson precision ride or something like that I got used. I was looking for a particular type of sound from a sound control I had years ago that I sold. And I wanted it again, and I saw that Chester Thompson, so I got it and tried it. That thing was just basically a plate of metal. And if you're into that kind of sound, just ping and nothing else. Just ping, ping, ping. That's fine. But I took about 1,000 grams off that cymbal. That cymbal's about 4,000 something. I think I brought it down to 2,900 grams. It still was kind of dry because of the way it was hammered, I guess. But you can take off a lot of metal with this process. If the bit gets kind of hot, you can use, just wear some gloves. But you got to keep a firm hold on the bit. If you need to control the cymbal, lay into it a little bit with a apron on or something like this, and then you go for it. And that's the process. And you can do this, different bits, like I said, different pressure, different places. I can take a cymbal that is what I could take what do they call them? Just an unlathed cymbal, just a natural type cymbal, and totally change the sound of it by just a few times down and putting some grooves in it so the sound can move along. Totally change the sound of the cymbal. Now for guys that are into natural sound, the more ta sound, the drier sound, they wouldn't want to do that. But for me, if I find a deal on eBay, I could do it, and I come up with a cymbal that I like. Now, of course, when you get dry cymbals are dry for specific reasons. They get hammered a lot. And the more you hammer a cymbal, the more you dry it out. In my mind, you're killing the metal. Because I like very bright, open sound with my cymbals. And for jazz, obviously, you want that more of that mellower ta kind of sound. And the more you hammer a cymbal, especially hand hammering it, the more you tone it down in that sense. So no amount of lathing is going to make a heavily hammered cymbal bright sounding, just because of that. But this is the process. I like holding this because it's a little heavier and it's easier to hold. And as you can see, that's what comes off. And as you can see, I can literally stop the cymbal by the amount of pressure I put on it. So that makes a difference too. So anyway, that's how I do it. Very simple bits, very simple process with the drill. Once again, don't get hurt. I'm warning you. Hold the bit correctly and be careful, because on a real thin cymbal, that's pretty sharp. I mean, if you were to hold your finger on it, you'd cut your finger, you'd cut your thumb. So you have to be careful of that. You're dealing with anytime you're dealing with power tools, be careful. There's the bottom line. Power tools equal caution. All right. But anyway, that's the way I do it. I will continue to work on this. Maybe 10, 20 passes, and I'll get more of a swishy sound out of it. So that's how I do it. Thanks for watching.